My name is Amanda Bailey. I've been in HR for about 3 decades now. Two of those decades have been devoted to education, starting out in K-12 and then moving on to higher ed. I currently serve as the Vice President for Human Resources at Boston University, supporting a workforce of about 11,000 with multiple partners to the university as well. When I started in HR many years ago as an individual contributor outside of education in private organizations, and worked my way up in trying to learn each of the HR functions, and have been very grateful for opportunities and mentors along the way that have furthered and advanced my interest in HR to get to where I am now as the vice president. So very I think much has changed around the perception of human resources and the contributions that human resources can have to organizational growth, not just looking at talent procedures and talent initiatives, but actually treating HR and HR being perceived as a business function, where we offered consultation around employment matters for sure. That's what we do namely, but we're also being asked to participate in more data and strategic conversations that affect the organizational growth and the value proposition. I think that has been a significant shift in the perception of HR and HR's contributions and the extent to which HR can contribute to organizational growth that leads, both to expanding the organization in multiple different ways, but also leads to more people strategy conversations that HR leaders can be involved in. So I think that's one shining bright light post-pandemic that HR colleagues like myself and other organizational leaders had not gone into the pandemic ever assuming that this could be an outcome. Great question. There are so many diverse interests in managing employees in any one organization. BU is highly diverse and complex on its own, both in structure and the nature of what we do to support our mission for our students. And so having said that, I think sustaining remote work has got to evolve to an environment that is more flexible and agile and adaptable. So I mentioned those three in particular with three very different interpretations. Remote remains a hallmark of popularity for many employees. And when we look at the operations and the unique need to operate in multiple different environments across our university community, for example, we very well understood early on that having a more flexible mindset for managers and for employees was necessary. And that led to agile agility and adaptability for different forms of work environments. So recently a drafted and published policy around flexible work seems to have struck the correct balance to manage the diverse interests and the diverse work environments that are needed by our operations across our very wide community. That being the innovative idea of having compressed work weeks that often don't happen in many higher ed environments, which is growing very quickly in popularity now. And another form of flexible work is just having small ways of managing flexible scheduling, both that manage the operations and that can support an employee's needs at times that are necessary. And both of those types of flexible work options are a complement to remote work, knowing that not every employee can participate in remote work. So we're really excited about that. I think that we have taken the long view. What I love about my ability to contribute around people strategies is not only coming up with short-term solutions, but a desire and a need to think about with my team and my team members, how do we come up with a long-term sustainable solution that will work for all hiring managers of different sizes of their departments. We have units that range from 3 full-time employees on the administrative side, sometimes to over 20 to support our students on the academic side. So with that varying degree of growth and size and scalability, we needed to really make sure we were doing two things at the same time. That we were strategically thinking about multiple different ways to identify diverse applicants and different spaces and places to promote that BU is hiring, along with strategies that serve to retain our employees wherever that may be. And what we learned quickly is that based on our culture and to maintain our culture that we really appreciated and grown fond to be a part of our reputation for so many years, is that we needed to think about a new model for our talent recruitment services in human resources. So we started by some of the things I just mentioned that were challenges, and we solved for it in creating a structure that offers strategic partnerships and allows us to identify diverse applicants through those partnerships in multiple different spaces, through the military, through affinity groups based on race, ethnicity, gender, and also through special abilities. So launching a very large presence on social media, primarily through LinkedIn, created 6 strategic partnerships for our talent recruitment services team, and we've seen tremendous growth. And it's resulted in an increase exponentially in applicants, and applicants who are interested in not just applying for the job, but really hoping that if they don't get the job they've applied for, they still keep BU in mind to look for their next career opportunity. That's exactly where we wanted to be. And so part of that restructured model kept the interest on applicants and kept us more at the front of mind for applicants who we think would really find BU an interesting and an employer of choice in their next step of their career journey. And the last part of the newly revised and reimagined model for talent recruitment services was to create an onboarding team. We quickly learned from the feedback and from our experiences of our hiring managers that we were able to find improvement in offering to newly hired employees more about where they're working, more about the culture of our organization, the wide and vast and diverse community that they're joining when they join BU. And we have found, as the research indicates, that many employees who come in and benefit from that type of experience stay much longer and want to grow their career. And so relying on feedback, relying on best practices and the research, as a research-run institution, that's something we do as a hallmark in HR, we decided to reimagine the structure. And we've received and seen great results and feedback since doing that. So we're really excited about the sustainability of this approach. Against the backdrop of the climate that higher ed has continued to be in, one thing that I love about being in higher education, in particular in the education industry, is that we remain in a climate of constant evolution, whether it is legislation, whether it's political climate, whether it's social climate. There are many things that institutions of higher ed have a chance to weigh in and lead. So I look forward to us leading, and BU particularly as a highly competitive institution of higher learning, to continue to lead and evolve and advance thought processes and thought leadership. So looking forward to it. It's a great journey.